Hello, 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 everyone. How are you today? Hopefully, everyone is having a good day. Just wish everyone is having a great day. I know it's been a while since I've been on live with you guys, but hey, I am back in full effect. So, hopefully, you enjoyed this edition of Wine Down Wednesdays with Javita. I hope you have your glass of wine and everything and all that good stuff. Anyway, I am going to get started because I don't want to keep you guys long. You know, like I said previously, I miss you guys. It's been a while. It has been, and hopefully I'm putting my wine down, y'all. But anyway, hopefully it has been great. Your week has been great. You know, hopefully, prayerfully, your week has been great. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to introduce myself. I am Javita, and I help single moms go from feeling powerless and fearful to devising a plan to build and cultivate her network and her net worth so that she can reduce stress. I shouldn't have said that wine, right? Reduce stress, find time for herself, and live a life full of love and abundance. Okay, so today's topic is, drum roll, stay in your lane. As I titled it, stay in your lane. There are a lot of folks out there today that kind of don't know how to stay in their lane. They kind of overstep when they don't need to overstep. And for some reason, they think it's okay to overstep. And it's not, because sometimes that's what you need to do and sometimes that's not. You have to be mindful of, just staying in your lane. And a lot of times people do step outside of their lane because they think they know everything. And quite honestly, nobody knows everything. Like for me, I don't know everything. So I try to kind of just stay, in my lane and speak on what I have experienced. Because a lot of people, they speak on things that they have seen or maybe heard, but they haven't truly experienced it themselves. And sometimes I feel you should not speak on it if you haven't truly experienced it. And if you do, you should caveat it like, well, hopefully, if I were put in that situation, this is how I would react. So, that's kind of what I mean a little bit by staying in your lane, because staying in your lane simply means really to just speak on something you've truly had life experience in. Not everything you've had life experience in. For example, I can't speak on or help my married friends or even give them advice on their marriages. And the reason is because the marriage isn't my lane. I'm a single woman. I haven't even walked down the aisle. So therefore, I'm not an expert in it. Not that I'm trying to be an expert in it, but I don't know it. So I can't give her any advice or words of wisdom for her marriage. Now, what I can do is speak to her woman to woman and give her advice on on loving herself, taking care of herself, respecting herself, knowing her worth, knowing her true value. I can speak to her on things like that, being a mother if she's a mother. I can speak on things like that because those are things that I have experienced. So that's my lane. I can walk in that lane, run in that lane, skip in that lane, jog in that lane if I want to, because I've lived that. Even though my experience may not be exactly like hers, I've lived it and I can stay in that lane. But she wouldn't want me to come and talk to her about how to make her marriage better. How can I give her that type of advice if I've never been in that lane? So you have to know how to stay in your lane. You have to know your roles in the various types of relationships. Now on the flip side, my married friend can give me advice about dating and being single because she's walked that road. She took that path before, so she stood in that lane. That was her lane at one point in life, so she can give me advice on that. But if she's not a mother, she really can't give me too much of that either, because I'm really speaking on if you have experienced it, like truly experienced it. So, and I'm not knocking anybody who, have, just raised somebody else, but I'm just saying, speaking on certain things. So in my opinion, the reason why a lot of people don't stay in their lane is because they believe they know everything, or they believe that they know how you should respond in any given situation. And I'm of the opinion that you never know how you're going to respond until you go through the situation. And I say that because I was once one of those people who would give you advice based on, well, if it was me, I would do this, that, and the third. And I had never went through the situation. So that was something that I had to learn. So I'm passing that on to you guys because it could help somebody and like building their relationships with other people, making their relationships stronger, more respect, more trust, and just kind of worthwhile, and not just going through the motions type of relationship. So I can actually, like I said, I was one of those people who did that, and I had to learn. And so when I actually went through a situation, that's kind of when I was like, wow, I thought I would have did X, Y, and Z. However, I did none of the above. I went back and did A, B, C. So therefore, I've learned to kind of just stay in my lane. And I think if everybody just learns their roles and learn to stay in their lane, then, we will have better relationships. Not saying it'll be perfect and good, all good times, but it will be better. You communicate better because you know what it is. And if someone wants you to kind of step outside, you might have to tell them, look, I don't have any expertise in that, but if I had to go through that, I would like to think this is how I would handle it, because you don't know until you go through it. So I also say it takes like a woman of integrity to understand and know when to stay in her lane. And because not everybody knows when to stay in her lane. And to me, I've seen throughout my entire life, I've seen people step outside of their lane, including myself. I've stepped outside of my lane. And then when I catch myself, I go back and I apologize. I'm like, excuse me, did I overstep? And sometimes I'm like, yeah. Sometimes they tell me no, I don't know, whatever the case may be. But I do think it takes a woman of integrity to know when to stay in her lane and when to actually step outside and step up. Because I think when people are going through things, they're going through it for a reason, because they need to grow in that area. And sometimes if you don't have that experience in the area, even if you do have the experience, if they're not coming to you asking you for the advice and wisdom, then don't give it. Just be the listening ear that they need. They may not come out verbally and say it, but that you have to pick up on body language and just everything, just about the whole demeanor, the energy. You just have to pick up on a lot of stuff so that you know kind of how you should respond, or get a feel for how you should respond. Because everybody, if I stay in my lane, let you grow through whatever it is you're going through, then we'll meet back in the middle where our paths will cross again, and then I can continue to help move you forward to where you need to be. But you have to go through that first. And see, if I didn't know how to stay in my lane, then I would be stunting your growth. And we don't want to stunt each other's growth. All right? So I believe, and this is just Jovita speaking, I believe that in order to continue growing, to become a better person, you must realize and know your role in all of your relationships. I know my role in almost all of my relationships. I am, like for my friends, I'm that girl that if they don't have anybody else to go out with them, they call me, because they know, first of all, she probably will be available. She might not have anything to do. I'm going to call Javita because I know I have a good time with her too. They know that as well. But anyway, but they call me and I'm that go-to person, like, oh, we want to go out? Let's call Javita. She'll go with us because there's no drama, no nothing. They know what they get. You see what you get. And so they know that. And I don't feel like any kind of way about it either. I don't feel used or anything like that because I know my role in that particular relationship. Now, there are other relationships I have where they just call me just so I can say something stupid and crazy and make them laugh. And that's all I needed to do. That's all they wanted, was to laugh at something crazy that I I might have said, and I don't even think it's crazy or stupid, but it'd be funny to me sometimes. So I just laugh with them. And I put a smile on their face, and that's all they needed for that day. Then I have some who calls me just for, you know, to be that voice of reason and to tell them the truth and to just be that listening ear. So, I mean, I know my roles. And I think everybody needs to learn and know their roles in each relationship you have, because the communication will flow better. It wouldn't be no like misunderstandings. We just all understand each other, you know, and it helps you stay focused and stay in your lane. That's the important part. You must stay in your lane. Do not step outside of your lane if you have no experience in it. Or if you feel as though you need to step out, make sure you go get some supporting documentation or something, you know, like you writing a research paper. Anyway, I'm just playing, but get some support, so, you know, to have that knowledge. You can say, I speak on something that you've heard someone else, you know, come through, but don't speak as if you know for sure that's what you're going to do, because you don't know what you're going to do. So that is all I really have for you guys tonight. Like I said, I kind of miss you guys anyway. But definitely what I really want you to get from this is to know your role in every relationship you have. If you don't know your role, ask. Have the conversation and ask. See what people need from you. And you don't just ask, hey, what's my role in your life? No, don't say that. But you can say, you know, hey, what do you need from me? How can I be of assistance to you? How can I help you? Especially if they're going through something, just kind of ask. Just don't assume that they want to hear your opinion, because I've been told that nobody wants to hear my opinion. Sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't. I told y'all I'm not perfect. So sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't. But, you know, I'm getting there. I'm learning, because I am a work in progress. So definitely know your role. And last but not least, just learn to stay in your lane. If someone ain't talking to you, then be quiet. Be quiet and listen. Because that means that statement or whatever wasn't for you. You know, give someone the decency and respect to respond on their own behalf. You know, everybody, and sometimes everything doesn't dignify a response. So, that is all I have for you guys for Wind Down Wednesdays. Like I said, oh, I got a pretty glass, you guys. One of my friends, she brought me this glass. It's so cute. It says, on Wednesdays, we drink red. Hey! Anyway, thank you for joining. If I could be of any assistance to you, or if you have any topics that you would like for me to discuss, please send all that to me at info@JavitaNMiller.com, or you can send me a private message right here on Facebook, or email, like I said, email me, or you can visit my website and drop me a little note there. And my website is JavitaNMiller.com. All right, thank you guys, and I will see you next week for Wind Down Wednesdays. Love you. Bye.